what I'd like to do is I think I'd like to do what I was doing on my daily updates channel, just on my main channel. And I just want to record a video every single day about something. And I don't necessarily want it to be like the most groundbreaking best video of all time. But what I've come to realize is like my main strength is volume and then the ability to articulate over a long period of time and then make sense coherently over that long period of time. So it's like, I should just be pressing on that, right? I've just like, my desire for perfectionism, I guess, constantly butts into that, where I'm like worried that the content quality is not going to be as high. And then as a result of that, I'm going to get a lot of like unsubscriptions and it's just not like a strategically good move. I guess that's what I'm worried about. Excuse me, which just doesn't really make sense because you look at these big channels out there that have just been recording like every day or multiple times a day for a very long period of time. And their stuff is objectively pretty low quality, but they still do really well. Why? It's just because you build a reputation over time. If you show up every single day for like a year in whatever it is, people will like you. I see some guys in my community that have posted every day now for about a year. And like when they post, they get 500 comments on their posts, right? Then there's new guys that posted once and they might post something that is objectively much better quality. Doesn't really matter. So it's almost just like staying power, I guess. And I know it sounds silly, but it's really not that big of a deal to like record like a half hour, 45-minute video once a day. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I think that makes sense, dude. I think that makes good sense because there is an appetite to consume the content. And I think if you're just ruthlessly consistent with it, people will watch it. I mean, I was chatting to one of my mutual friends about the AI content, the AI avatar content that's kind of like bopping up. And there's some channels, dude, they post like probably daily and they get like 6-figure views yapping about, for all intents and purposes, nonsense, quite frankly, like China taking over the blah, 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 like, you know, that kind of thing. Like, and it's like, this is pure, like, and I was kind of really intrigued by it because I was like, you know, it's an AI avatar. And I was like, dude, if you just added some level of quality and thought to this content and we're tapping on the right buttons, why would that, do you know what I mean? Like, I was kind of like, this is just, it's just a trend I saw. I was like, that's interesting to me that like, there is now undeniably, we know, for example, on Instagram, which I'm not focused on at the moment, but there's like accounts like AI Surfer, for instance, which are AI generated. But granted, he does give specific value. So there's a clear expected utility in the short. But I mean, there are actual, people will consume AI generated long form content, providing you're servicing something. Like, for example, if you're giving a helpful update on something, like there is actual utility I get from the video. Like, even though I prefer to consume it from a human, I prefer real beef, for example, than this fictitious beef. But if I'm starving, there's no options, I'll freaking take the McDonald's, right? But it's that kind of thing. So it's interesting to me, bro. Yeah, I think volume is key. I think volume is king on this stuff. But you can generally, I think, like, you start a niche and you just gradually keep on getting broader and broader, right? So I like that, man. I think that's really cool. What would you talk about? Would you talk about like Claude Code just dropped this thing and like this was kind of Elon Musk?
I have no clue. None whatsoever. However, what I've come to realize is the way that all of these channels can consistently produce content for a very long period of time is they just don't come up with the ideas themselves. They just source them from their audience or they source them from like a newsreel or something. So they basically just, new Twitter post. They get 3 big Twitter posts and they talk about them during the day. And it's like, that's great. Infinite, interesting content. When I did my daily updates, that was basically it. I just scrolled through comments, picked comments. Hey, infinitely interesting content. It's always different, but I don't actually have to do any of the ideation. So I think that's the play.